Now, the man I've been talking about. Would you please welcome Glen Campbell?
Sometimes I come home, worn out from working all day. And I walk through that door, I see that you feel the same way. Both of us dead on our feet, we just crawl into bed and fall right to sleep. And sometimes these bad nights, they seem to go on for days. But on a good night, that's when we make up for lost time. Yeah, on a good night, that's when I'm yours and you're all mine. And then we turn out the lights, hold each other tight, and everything feels so right. On a good night, on a good night. Sometimes it's a hassle, so many bills to pay, and the hassle seems double, no time left over to play. It's a wonder that love can survive, but somehow we've managed to keep it alive through all these bad nights that seem to go on for days. But on a good night, maybe we make up for lost time. Yeah, on a good night, that's when I'm yours and you're all mine. And then we turn out the lights, hold each other tight, and everything feels so right. On a good night, yeah, on a good night. Well, on a good night, that's when we make up for lost time. Yeah, on a good night, that's when I'm yours and you're all mine. Then we turn out the lights, hold each other tight, and everything feels so right. On a good night, on a good night. Good, 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 a good night. Good, 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 a good night.
Hey, Glen. Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to see you.
Thank you a lot. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
That's your new record, right? On a
That's
good
brand
night?
new.
On
Yeah,
Cap-
it is. It's a brand new record. It's out, written by Jim Weatherly and Keith Stegall. And I really do like the song.
Jim Weatherly used to play football for Ole Miss.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I know him. Do you remember the show I made reference to in the audience tonight?
Yes, I sure do.
The night your daddy popped up in the
Right.
audience with you?
He said, yeah, hi, I'm Glen Campbell's daddy. I miss him. I really do.
How long has it been?
1st of April, 1984.
Did your mother appear on the show, too?
Oh, yes, she was on the show.
Did they
Mother's going strong. Mom's 85 years old, June the 30th. And, you know, I'm one of 12 kids, and if having kids bothers you, she doesn't seem to show it. She's strong and a bear still. That's great.
We had two of your brothers here the other night in the audience.
Yeah, and Gerald and Lyndall. Lyndall was a preacher. And, in fact, he's the one that baptized me. And Stevie, his son, they came into town to do some demos, you know, to get in the singing business.
I remember we had that Arkansas homecoming one time in Little Rock.
Right.
And I was the only non-Arkansas or non-Razorback person on the show. And I remember a lot of your brothers came to the show that day. I think Gerald was there.
Well, they needed somebody. They had to import them in to come in and host a show that big, Ralph.
Anyway, can you name for me your brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah.
In chronological order, oldest down to
Okay. Wayne, Lyndall, Billy, my sister, and then Gerald, Shorty, Ronald, Donald, Glenn, and then Jane and Jesse Wayne, he was stillborn, and Barbara and Sandy, all 12. People around Delight thought Dad should have a knighthood. They thought Dad should have a knighthood for having 12 children. And Mom said, well, I bought him one, but he never wears it.
Now, is your mother's maiden name Bill?
No, my mother's maiden name is Stone.
Okay, who was Dick Bill?
Dick Bills married my dad's sister. He used to claim that Billstown was named after
Well, I know you told me one time you're not exactly from Delight, you're from Billstown.
Billstown, right. It's still there. One Billstown on this side of the post and Billstown on that side of the post. It's so far out in the country we had to hunt toward town, right?
Did you play in your Uncle Dick's band?
Yes, I sure did. That was my first big gig on radio. We had a radio show 5 days a week in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for about 5.5, 6 years.
How did you Razorback Pickers get out to Albuquerque?
Well, Dick had the show there, and I was 16 when I went to work for him. He had to be my legal guardian, and my dad's sister, whom he was married to, that's actually how I got out there. But, you know, for some reason, I was playing with a little band, a little place called Coon Holler up in Regina, New Mexico. And I was wondering, I said, well, gee, I wonder why Uncle Dick don't hire me to work in his band, you know. And actually, he'd never heard me play or sing at the time.
Did you teach yourself to play the guitar?
Well, Dad played and sang with the harmonica, and Grandpa Campbell used to play and sing. I remember Grandpa Campbell when his little hand had pulled up with arthritis. And that's really when I was pretty small, and I'd play rhythm guitar for him, and he'd sing songs like, you know, In the Shadow of the Pines and things like that, some of the old songs. That's why I still remember a lot of the songs he used to sing.
Do you still play that crazy instrument?
Yeah, I do. I think the Irish gave the Scots a joke as bagpipes as a joke, and we ain't caught on yet. I really do. It's a strange instrument, but I love it.
You told me one time, though, it was the hardest instrument to learn how to play.
Yeah. That's what I tried to do. I tried to learn the pipe. I just got back from a tour of, I was in England and in Belfast, Ireland, Dublin, and Cork. And I asked the bagpipe players all over there, but it is the hardest instrument that I ever picked up and tried to learn to play. I could play the chanter fine, but to keep the air in the bag is what makes it high, low, and if your reed is in a little bit too far, and they have not improved that instrument since the first day they invented, what, 600 or 700 years ago. It's still the same today.
So the secret is keeping enough air in the bag?
Keeping enough air in the bag and keeping the pressure on the bag. That's, it's hard.
Can you buy a book?
No, I don't think you can.
You know, learn how to play and be invited out a lot?
The first time I was putting them on, man, I looked like an octopus falling out of a tree trying to get into it.